We're back. Welcome back to another episode of No Holds Barred Podcast. I'm here with my podcast partner, Marcus Pierre, David Joseph, the usual suspects that you know and love. And we want to tell you that feel free to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe to us on iTunes. And don't forget to like our page on Facebook. We're on multiple platforms, multiple forms of social media in order to give you reviews and our opinions on professional wrestling and pop culture. Now that we got that out of the way, in this particular episode, Marcus, let's talk about the upcoming draft. Now, this draft on the new and improved live SmackDown, starting July 19th, SmackDown is going live, and they will have unique rosters and superstars for SmackDown and the Raw. The brand split is back, but this time, Marcus and I are pretty optimistic for the simple fact that SmackDown is going live and the roster is so stacked and deep. But you can't have a roster without having an authority figure. So, Marcus, let me ask you, who do you think should be the Raw GM and the SmackDown GM?
Raw GM and SmackDown GM. Well, they literally have to start this reality era off with a bang. And how I feel it should definitely be Raw versus SmackDown. There needs to be a competition. There needs to be a rivalry. So why not have your GMs have a prior feud before they actually do the draft? I would definitely appoint Triple H as the general manager of Raw, and Sting, I repeat that, the icon Sting as the general manager of SmackDown. Here's why. This is how I would do it. So, as you know right now, Stephanie McMahon and Shane, they have control of Raw right now. And I think out of nowhere, Triple H should just show up maybe a week in advance before the draft. And Triple H is just like, well, guys, let's have a meeting. I know we don't all see eye to eye. Well, me and Shane, you and I, we don't see eye to eye, but let's have a meeting. Let's talk things out. And then the next week on the draft day, they all are on the same page. They all come to terms that it's going to be a three-way partnership when it comes to being the general manager of Raw. So they all three do it, but Triple H will still be the head of both of them in a sense. Now, I would have the draft, but instead of just revealing Sting as the general manager of SmackDown, I would have the identity of the general manager of SmackDown to be anonymous. But he's casting his voting for who he wants to be on SmackDown via text message on the Titatron. So, but not only is everybody interested in seeing who's going to go to SmackDown, but they're also going to be interested in seeing who's going to be the general manager as well. And Triple H is like, come on, you have to show yourself. Come out, come on. You can't remain hidden as a general manager. You need to show yourself. And by the end of the night, within the last 5 minutes, you just see all the lights go out. You see a crow sign on the screen, and Sting's music plays, and he walks out to the entrance, and he reveals himself to be the SmackDown general manager. And Triple H just needs to look shocked. So now you have not only a rivalry between the companies, a rivalry between the managers, and it gives it a sports-like feel and a feud within itself. So that's how I would book it.
Okay, Sting and Triple H have history. Triple H did go over in Sting's first ever WrestleMania match, and we haven't seen Sting in a while, and he still has a lot of value, especially to the old school fans. All right, I see the route you're going with. Pretty good picks, but I like my picks too, so let me set this up real quick.
Okay.
The dynamic that they have with Stephanie and Shane kind of, switching over, having that sibling rivalry over control on Raw, I'm kind of okay with that dynamic, so I would keep that dynamic because I think ultimately, I'll put it this way, if the company feels like Stephanie McMahon has to stay on air, I'm okay with the dynamic of the sibling rivalry, kind of both of them on the Raw. But if it was up to me, I would just keep it Shane McMahon by himself. I don't think
really?
Stephanie. Yeah, okay. I don't think Stephanie. No diss to her, and no, I am not sexist. But in a sense, I don't think she needs to be in wrestling's a man's world. I don't think she needs to be the authority figure. Because let's be honest, you got all these over the top personalities, these overly muscular guys. Are they really going to buy in or fear a woman?
Essentially, I think they would be more annoyed of her, if anything. Yeah,
exactly.
They wouldn't be afraid of her.
So a lot of times, Stephanie does draw heat, and she's great on the mic, don't get me wrong. If you're a McMahon, you likely sell, and you likely do your job well. McMahons know how to do their job in pro wrestling, but there's a lot of times she doesn't know whether she's a heel or a face.
Yeah.
Her character seems a little confused.
Yeah.
And not just that, as you just said, I think wrestlers would seem a little more annoyed rather than fear
You'll
or have respect.
like another Vicky Guerrero on her hands, pretty much.
Basically, you know what I mean. So if it was up to me, I would keep Shane. Either if they really need Stephanie on TV, keep them together with the sibling rivalry. But if it was up to me, I would have Shane McMahon by himself. We see the new breath of fresh air that he's added to the product, so he deserves his own show in that respect. And my SmackDown pick is a little complicated because I think in order for this person to be the GM, he has to lose what he's running for right now. Donald Trump should be the general manager of SmackDown if he loses the election. Let me get this out of the way. I am not a Trump supporter. Hell, I don't even know politics. I am not a Trump
I'm sweating, man.
Donald Trump would be a perfect candidate to be the general manager of SmackDown as a character that would get
president, right?
That's why I said if he loses. Because obviously, if he's the president, he ain't gonna have time to work for WWE.
Of course not, right?
But if he loses, and he's open to doing this in his free time, maybe that's another platform to get his rants out.
Okay.
If I was Vince, I'd be like, yo, you can be yourself, you can get your rants out as long as it's nothing with cuss words, nothing too profane. I'll let you be yourself, be GM, be that heel authority figure. And Trump might be like, okay, I lost the election. What better way to get publicity? Let's go back to that. Any publicity is good publicity to Donald Trump, it seems. So
that's true.
He might actually take the job. I know this. I know this sounds like a long shot. It might be, but I think it would be entertaining. And he still has ties to the WWE and Vince McMahon, so it makes all the sense in the world. Don't think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I promise.
It came out of nowhere, man. Honestly, that would be entertaining. That would be interesting. Wow. Donald Trump, the man who just lost the election in the United States, GM. Think of the ratings.
Think of the mainstream appeal.
Oh, my goodness.
Because the people who want to see Donald Trump get his face punched in would tune in.
Absolutely.
And they would hate him. And the people who are actually fans of this man would tune in to support him.
True.
And win.
I'm also thinking of just the wrestlers that would try to associate themselves with Trump. They would be mega heels.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Instantly, with the snap of a finger.
Absolutely. I believe that. Now, if you think Donald Trump could be a viable general manager for the WWE, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, feel free to let us know in the comments section.
Make SmackDown great again.
Absolutely. Like this, our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, we'll hold your attention.